I'm Caroline Rena, and welcome to the Ride of My Life Poem Talks. And this one was written about 3 days after the last one, The Deepest Depths, that I had read. And I'm starting to connect things together and what I brought to the table in life and relationships and in communicating with other people and where I lost myself. And this one actually gave me some brightness, like I was starting to see the other side of of the tunnel and the train wasn't coming at me type of thing. And it just resonated with me with kind of what's going on right now in my life, where I'm starting to see things illuminate and open up that I couldn't see before, I couldn't recognize before. And I used to beat myself up because I would like put other people first and then get upset with myself because I did it, but it was like an addiction, you know. I mean, I don't think addictions are just chemical addictions. I know that from what I've understood and read and researched, that we all have, or we're all going to have addictive behavior based on being babies, being born, being addicted to the, whether or not we were breastfed or not, there's addiction built into us. But the only way we can feel like that, I've noticed for myself, the way I felt like I could survive in the world was for me to be addicted to needing love. And it was a desperation that I felt. And anyway, when last year, when all these things were shifting for me, I started to see this whole other side to things. And it was just the beginning, because I would start going back down into the hole and then I'd come back up again. And little by little, it was more like this, up, up, down, up, higher, down, that type of thing. And it was scary when I was going through this, and I never felt like I had support. And that was part of my realizing that I'm the one who gets to support myself, and I am being supported by creation. I'm being supported by the universe. I'm starting to see these things, and it took a long time for me to get here. And I know the pain of feeling unwanted. I know the pain of feeling like I have to isolate because nobody wants to be around me, and felt like I always got pushed away. And just an experience I had from birth, which I think I've talked about before. And of course, I can't remember, this is all pre-verbal, but it was in the court paperwork that I had received later on in my life. And it said that the day that I was born, my mother, who was a Red Cross nurse, walked away from me. So I've had this innate abandonment like in me, probably before I was born, because my mother always felt like she was abandoned, and we tend to carry our parents' wounds also. It's generational. And so, working through this has been like, for me, honestly, a torture chamber. It's been like blaming myself for all the things that I did wrong and all the things that I could have done better. And, it was just a really, there were days that were like, I was surprised that I could see the other side of that. It was like the deepest depths of aloneness and feeling unwanted and feeling desperate, And so I told myself years ago that I'm not going to let that happen. But it's taken me a long time to really, really recognize and understand and be able to appreciate the things that have been going on, and to know that it wasn't, like they say, when things come up, it isn't being done to us, it's being done for us. And I am starting to see that that makes sense. And it's a slow process and it's painful, but there's a beauty on the other side of this process. And I think that's what this poem is about. Now I'm reading it blind again, so I could probably talk a little bit about it afterwards. But this poem I wrote on July 21st of 2021, and it's called A New Day. The next day, a new day. being able to walk through something until sleep time from yesterday. And throughout the night, the deepness of sleep helps me to understand what next, what to do, what not to do, ever again. When I get to see the mistakes I have made and the beauty I have created, to blend them together, to understand, to love myself through it all, the calling, where to go. The world sees middle age as a beginning to an end. I'm seeing it differently. I see it as a beginning to a beginning, a new chapter, an adventure of sorts, or a real adventure to learn, to grow, to heal, to thrive, to live my life as I have always wanted to live it without being told the shoulds. You should do this. You should be that. What the shoulds got me was confusion of who I truly am. I became the other because that was all I knew. I was in the space of the other because that is what I do. I see deeply into the souls of the other, and with the conditioning and beliefs I've carried throughout my life about me, melded with them and lost myself. Here I am, looking into a new world at the fork in the road. I know that either way I go, I will learn something. I like to take the road less traveled because I do not live in the box to begin with. I never have. Hard to put a round peg into a square hole, or a square peg into a round one. Or does it really matter? What matters is that I come to discover my truth, how I get to live my life, how I can leave a legacy for my children, even if it is unconditional self-love. That is what matters most. That, and then love of other. To be love, to give love, to receive love. A process that can only be found when there is self-love. I choose that today. I choose to follow through on learning and experimenting with my life, to see the things that make life so incredibly beautiful, even through the pain and anguish of grief. The doorway to love, forgiveness, self and others, the pathway through the doorway to love. Love, the end all be all to life, source in the universe and to each other. It is available to us, and it is absolutely found within us. We are like lighthouses. Once we find the light inside ourselves, we spread the light into the world. Oh, okay. Wow. Sometimes it amazes me because I write these things and I don't remember writing them. And then I'm like, holy cow, that's pretty powerful, you know? But there's this deepness to the pain. And what I'm discovering is that the grief pulls me through that pain, and it's there for us to grieve these things that we've held on to for so long in our lives. It's like, I don't want to feel that pain, but I don't want to feel like I'm not here, or like I'm in chaos, or like I'm zoned out or anything like that. I want to feel life. And this process has been the way through the grief to feel life. And I'm like still on the precipice of this. I still don't really know, but I'm touching it and I'm sharing it. And it's there. It's like there for us to grab onto. It's just a choice, you know? It can't be something that, sorry, I'm not apologizing for crying because this is like the depths of my soul that's talking right now. It's like pushing that down because someone told us we're not good enough at something, or pushing it down because we were told that we're not a good person or a good mother or a good father or whatever you're being told. We all get told these things and it's not true. There's inside of you is a powerful, beautiful, amazing human being that begs to come out. And that human being deserves the right to come out. And that's what I want this new day to be about, discovering that love inside of us and bringing it out to the world. And to know that grief is a doorway to get to that. And it's such a powerful experience. And yeah, it hurts like hell when you're going through it. I'm not saying that it's not easy. And if you need somebody to support you and hold your space, have someone around you. Just make sure you tell them. Don't say anything. Just let me feel. Let me pull this out. Let me do this. I don't need your help. I need you to hold my space. And eventually you learn how to hold your own space, until eventually that real anguish and pain just starts to subside. And you find inside of you who you really are. And that's love. And that's what I'm finding. And I just want you to know that. It's the word I'm looking for. It's possible. Possibilities are all there. It's just making that decision and being persistent and following through and knowing that you are loved first and foremost from who you are. And it doesn't matter what the rest of the world says, because they're going through as much pain as you are, or could be. This is what's the most important. This is who you get to find in your journey. This is the love you have always, always, always been looking for right here. So thank you for watching this. And I hope in some way that, like, if you see me and feel me, you want to reach out to me, absolutely do so. I would love to connect, and just let me know how you're doing, because I know a lot of people aren't doing that great right now, and it matters. You matter how you're doing. So wherever you are, have a great moment, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Poem Talks. Thank you.